Hey guys, and welcome to the 8th review of 31 Days of Horror. This is the beginning of the sequel of one. And the series I'm going to be reviewing is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Yep. I'm going to be doing this whole series as in all 7 of the original films. And Freddy vs. Jason. And then finally, the remake. Now, the first Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the most beloved horror films of all time, for good reason. This one, like, in the 80s, every kid knew about Freddy Krueger. The guy came after you in your dreams, and he was a wisecracking ghoul while he was at it, but that's where they got it wrong. In the original, he was just a cold-hearted, sadistic killer. He didn't, I mean, he jokes a little bit, but not like he does in the sequels. Here he's just very dark, a very creepy guy. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. The plot concerns a girl who has bad dreams about Freddy, and her mum's leaving town, so she asks her friends, Tina and Glenn being played by Johnny Depp I might add, to come over to keep her company. Tina's boyfriend also crashes the party, and they go and sleep in the mum's room, and when they're asleep, Freddy comes and kills Tina in a great scene. It's so nicely done. It's hard to describe it. I mean, she's asleep, and he's attacking her in the dream, and she's on the ceiling trying to escape. Like, she levitates to the ceiling, try to reach out to her boyfriend, but he can't get her. You can see her sort of getting brutalised, like we can't see Freddy doing it in the dream, but as he's doing it in the dream, it's happening to her in reality. Some pretty good stuff. So he has to leave because everybody thinks it's him, and the cops go after him. And then Tina's friend Nancy becomes the main character. So it's kind of like Psycho, how they kill off Janet Leigh about halfway in. Quite surprising, really. I didn't expect the first time round. And then Freddy starts going after her, and she has to find out what's going on. Her dad, played by John Saxon, doesn't believe her, and her mum doesn't believe her either. So she has to stay up late at night drinking coffee to keep awake, to try and figure out a way to beat him. She does. At the end, she has a big confrontation with him in the dream world. She discovers she can take things out of the dreams and into reality, so she grabs Freddy and brings him into the real world, where she fights him, and she set up loads of booby traps. Going off topic for a minute, but this is a Wes Craven film, and booby traps, you get quite a lot of them in his films. Last House on the Left, the doctor set up the traps to take down the criminals that killed his daughter. I've not seen the people under the stairs, but I know there's booby traps in that. Last House on the Left, they set up a snare to get Papa Jupiter. You know, he seems to enjoy booby traps. But once Freddy's weakened by all of them, she sets him on fire, and he sort of fades into the mum's bed, taking the mum with her, or so it seems. It's kind of a weird scene. Done nicely though. It turns out he's not dead, but Tina says he's not real and all that, and that you have no power over me. And he tries to get her but fails. She then leaves the house. Her mum's still alive, and all her friends pull up. Like, by this point in the film, Johnny Depp's character is dead, Tina's boyfriend's dead, but they're all back at the very end, and they get in Rod's car, Tina's boyfriend's car, and it seals up on them, and the car looks like Freddy, like, you know, it's got the red and green striped look on it, so you can tell he's took control of it, and it drives off. The mum's watching, a hand pulls through, grabs the mum, and drags her through the door. And that's it. Really, really good horror film. I've pretty much covered the whole plot, so I'll just talk about a few individual things I like, such as the characterisation. There's only 4 main characters in this, aside from the parents. Tina, Nancy, Rod, and Johnny Depp. I know he has a name, but I always call him Johnny Depp. Can't help it. And we get to know them, we get to care about them, like the whole thing with Tina, how they kill her off about 20 minutes into the film, came as a shock to me, and then getting to know Nancy, we spend a lot of time with them, they're not stupid, they don't wander off into stupid situations, they handle it very realistically, and it's nice to see. The death scenes are pretty good. I've covered Tina's. Rod, he's in a jail cell when the police actually do catch him for thinking that he killed his girlfriend. And a noose, like I think the bed sheets sort of like form a noose and hang him to death. It's done quite good. It's not the best. It's probably the weakest death scene of the film. But the best is by far Johnny Depp's. He's lying in his bed asleep. The bed opens, Freddy drags him in, and blood just, a fountain of blood comes rising out of the bed. I don't even know, like, it's amazing how they done it. Again, no CGI, just practical blood, just splattering all over the ceiling, like all that, just completely covered in blood, imagine, like just spraying out the bed all over the ceiling. It's a very, very nice scene. Nancy's mum dies too. The sort of shock ending. I'd say Rod and the mum's death aren't that too good, but Tina and Johnny Depp's A+. And it's only 4 death scenes as well, which is odd for a slasher film. But in the sequels, they tended to bring in more characters. They set more of them up for Freddy to kill. Again, this one's pure horror, not a comedy, like the later sequels. I mean, the second one's sort of horror-ish, 3 again, but by the time you get to 4, he's just a wisecracking ghoul, so to speak. So, my overall thoughts on the film, 10 out of 10. Really, really good film. And a great start to the series. It wasn't supposed to be a series in the first place, so Wes Craven actually the director disagreed with the notion of having a sequel. But the studio forced them to change the ending. Like originally, I think Nancy just got on a school bus and drove away into the fog. But in this one, obviously, the whole thing with the car taking him away and then Freddy killing the mum. So he's obviously earned for part 2. I think that's about it. Good film, 10 out of 10. Check it out. Bye for now.